Morning. Good morning, everybody, to our weekly Tuesday class. And hope you're all doing well. I want to wish you a good week, a wonderful week, wherever you're watching from. And we're going to get started with our tzedakah and our tehillim to take out a coin, put it in tzedakah box. Make sure you give tzedakah every single day. Okay, we're going to start off with the chapter Tehillim. And if you want us to say Tehillim for anyone specifically, feel free to put it down in the comments. I'd like to dedicate today's class to Leah Baspasia for a complete and speedy Yerushalema, and in memory of the late Arnold Brody, a dear friend of ours from our community. You should have a lichtike, Gan Eden, and a easy journey into Gan Eden. Okay, so just wanted to know how everyone's doing. Give me a little bit of reaction. It's a little bit dark and gloomy outside, but it's warm, so we're going to take it. Give me a little bit in the comments or a little bit of emojis so I know how everyone's feeling. If you're having a good morning, if you're feeling positive vibes, good energy, bring it on. Show me quickly with your emojis if it's a good day, an okay day, if you're looking forward to today. Okay. Okay, I see. Good morning, Rosalie. Good morning, Francis. I see someone's really having a good day this morning so far. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Corinne. Good morning, Marlene. Okay, please, Joanne. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Hannah. Let me know how you're feeling, Hannah. Tell me, Rosalie, how's your day going so far? It's only 9:45, but it's going to be a gorgeous day. So I'm glad to see that everyone is upbeat. Everyone's feeling good. All right, Joanne. Good. Good to see that smile. Wonderful. Okay. If you want me to say Tehillim for anyone, have in mind, please put the names down. And we'll say chapter Chav together. Lamratzeach Mizmor LeDavid Yancha Dinah Biyom Tzara. Yisagefcha Hashem Elohei Yaakov. Yishlach Ezracha Mikodesh Umitzion Yisadeka. Yiskar Kol Mechasecha V'Lascha Yidash Nesela. Yiten Lecha Chavavecha V'Chol Atzascha Yimale. Nirane b'shuasecha uv'shem Eloheinu nidgol. Yimalei Adonai kol mashalasecha. Ata yadati ki Yoshi Adonai mishicho. Yanei mishbei kocha b'gvuros yesha yamino. Ela v'recha ve'ela b'susa menachem b'shem Adonai Eloheinu naskir. Hema karu v'nafal v'anachnu tzchamnu v'nisodad. And together, Adonai, Hoshea, Hamelach, Yaneinu v'yom karenu. Hannah is energized and ready to start. Okay. So you saw the topic on the social media page. Oh, Marlene, please give us your sister's name and we will daven for her as well. Okay? So you saw that I wrote on the today's topic would be words matter. Words matter. How many of you watching believe that words are as important as action? Or if you have thoughts that are good, is that equally as important as words? Okay, I want to talk about thought, speech, and action, but focusing on words. So a couple of years ago, my husband and I were coming back from Montreal. We stopped in a little place, Coburg. I don't know how many of you have ever visited Coburg. You can tell me if you have, but it was a very interesting scenario. We get off the exit to Coburg because we wanted to fill up on gas. And as my husband begins filling up, a black woman walks over to the car and she says to my husband, "Are you Jewish?" So my husband says, "Yes, I am." Surprise. So the woman goes, "Wow." And this was on a Sunday morning. She goes, "Wow, I just got back from church and we learned something incredible. Those that bless the Jews will be blessed. Those that curse the Jews will be cursed. And my pastor told us that we must go out and find a Jew and bless them, and God will bless us." That's right, Chana, it's the Big Apple. So she says, "There are no Jews in Coburg. I can't believe what incredible coincidence. I'm just pulling into the gas station to fill up my gas tank, and there I find a holy Jew. Can I bless you? And my husband and I look at each other. It is Mashiach's times. Are we living a reality? So she starts to give us beautiful, beautiful blessings. My husband and I bless her back, and she goes on her way. What was her pastor? What was he referring to? Anybody know? What was the pastor referring to when he said, "Those who bless the Jews will be blessed, and those who curse the Jews will be cursed"? Anybody know where that's written, where that is alluded to in our Torah, in our writings, in our tradition? Please put it down in the comments if you know. Where are we told? Bless the Jew, you will be blessed. Curse him, you will be cursed. And before we go to the reference where this is actually written in this week's Torah portion, yes, we can refer to an individual who I don't even want to say his name, took to social media and cursed the Jews. He cursed the Jews. He has millions and millions of followers who all saw his despicable words. And for the anti-Semite out there, this was food for fodder. How many people did he affect with those written words? Well, guess what? Someone did not teach him that those who bless the Jews will be blessed, and those who curse the Jews will be cursed, because voila, few days later, he's moping because he lost over $2 billion of his net worth. Poor you. Poor you. Words matter. Have any of you ever seen this actually occur to you, occur to someone you know? But I want to take you to the Chumash. Anybody know which Parsha we're in? Anybody? Please put it down. What Parsha are we in? Before I give it away, I want to see my learned women, especially Becky from Israel. Becky, where do we say, what Parsha are we in this week? We are in Parshas, there you go, Becky. We are in Parshas Lech Lecha. In the beginning of Parshas Lech Lecha, these words that had brought Kanye West, I said I wouldn't say his name, but you have to call out garbage, right? This guy did not know about the Chumash. He didn't know about the Parsha. Someone's got to teach this guy something, got to stick something up there. In the Perek of Yud Beis, the 12th chapter of Chumash Bereshis, and it says like this: Hashem says to Abram, Lech lecha me'artzecha, go out from your land, and from your birthplace, and from your father's house, El ha'aretz asher areka, to a place that I will show you. And then he says, there I'll make you a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, because Hashem added a letter to his name, as you know, and you will have the power to bless others. And then Hashem says these famous words. I want you to remember them, my dear. I'll tell you why. Because whenever you see a non-Jew blessing you, just remember, bless them back and realize that he will be blessed for eternity. And if someone curses you, do not get frazzled. Hashem will take care of them, and they will have a dark end. So as a Jew, there's nothing to worry about. I know there's a lot of organizations that talk about, oh my God, it's terrible, anti-Semitism, what are we going to do? I'm not worried. There's an Abishur that watches me. There's a God that loves me. There's a God already that predicted all this that's going to happen. I'm not worried. But I do have to know my reality around me. And here are the words that God said to Abraham thousands of years ago. Va'avarcha mivarechecha umikalecha a'ar. What does that mean in English? I'll translate it for you. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. Here, right here. Chumash Bereshis, Parshas Lech Lecha. This week's Parsha, you're going to hear it in Shul. So I have a little question about this. Clearly, from the story that I just told you that happened in Coburg, the black woman who came over and wanted to grant my husband a blessing because she just heard that if you bless a Jew, you'll be blessed. Beautiful. And we saw the other ignoramus that cursed the Jews. He's done. Everyone threw him away. All the great companies out there that he was, a celebrity for them, they dropped him like a hot cake. He was cursed. But let's talk a little bit more. What does this actually mean? That I will bless those who bless you. But then those that curse you, I will curse. Do you see something interesting? So I want to do a little bit of a more challenging class today. I'm not going to just spill out everything. Today I'm going to ask you questions. I want you to think. It's like going into an escape room. You got to work a little bit. Okay. The phrase in the Chumash says, those that bless you, I will bless, and I will curse those who curse you. If this wants to be grammatically written well, it should say, I will bless those that bless you, and all those who curse you, and I will curse those who curse you. But instead it says, all those that curse you will be cursed. What does that mean? So here's a very beautiful, beautiful insight that actually comes from a commentator by the name of Klei Yakar. He was, I think, a 17th century author and teacher and master who wrote commentaries on the Chumash. And he says something very, very interesting. He says like this: when you think of blessing someone, and this goes on in our lives as well, when you think of blessing someone, just that thought alone, God blesses them and blesses you. I think that is absolutely the most powerful, powerful statement. Those of us who want to bless our friends, those of us who want to bless our community, and we don't get a chance to it. It's just in a thought. It's a beautiful, I would say, a nefesh elokis moment where you're thinking positive thoughts. That alone triggers God to bless those, to bless you. We're told in the Talmud that when you think of a good action, even before you actually do it, God already gives you the merit. So if I plan on bringing challah to people this Friday, and my plan is to bake the challah Thursday night and Friday morning when it will be risen and I will braid it, and then when I get home from school, I will go deliver. What happens if on Friday it doesn't work out? Something happens at school, I gotta hang out there a little later, someone needs my attention, and I never make it to deliver the challah. So the Talmud tells us something powerful. The fact that I already had a positive plan of action, Hashem already considers as if I did the mitzvah. But it doesn't work like that with negative. With negative, God never judges us by our thoughts. So if we have a negative thought, which is very, very much a reality because we are all basar v'dam, we are all humans, we all have a nefesh habahamis, that animal soul that's very busy and active and doing all kinds of causing havoc in us. I will have negative thoughts. That's human. But if I don't say them, if I don't curse others, then that thought remains a non-action, and I am not blamed for that. That's very powerful, because I know a lot of people that beat themselves up because what kind of person am I? I could think such negative thoughts, such destructive thoughts, such inappropriate thoughts. I'm a horrible human being. And the Tanya says, no, that's what it means to be human, right? For those of us who learned Tanya a few years ago. And by the way, in 2 weeks, we are starting again an in-person class of Tanya. Put down, by the way, in the comments, if you will be able to make it to the in-person comments at the shul. We are going to be learning. We're going to do a hybrid. We're going to learn in shul because I just want to learn with people. It's done. I'm done with just, social media. I will still do it on Facebook because we have people from all over the world that tune in, and that's great. But I would love to see my friends in person. So if any of you are planning on coming on, it's not next week, but the week later on a Tuesday, 9:45, there'll be coffee and muffins. Looking forward to it. But let's get back to this. We are going to learn Tanya, by the way. So when we learned Tanya, we learned that our thoughts, speech, and action are the different ways that we express ourselves to the outside world, to our family, to our friends. Torah tells us something very powerful. If you have a positive thought, a positive plan of action, you are already going out and doing all kinds of mitzvahs. Chana, it starts at 9:45. You're planning to go do this, to drop off that, to bake this for this one, and cook for this one, and for some drastic reason it doesn't work out, you are still rewarded as if you did the mitzvah. Mitzarav HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem already considers it as if you did the mitzvah, as opposed to the negative. We are not kept responsible. Of course, we have to work on our machshava. Of course, we have to work on having positive. But if our thoughts become negative at different parts of the day, which between me and you, unless you're a tzaddik, you're going to have those thoughts. Just dismiss them, like we learned in Tanya. Just dismiss them. As long as you dismiss it and we don't act on it, and it doesn't become your action, Hashem does not consider it. And that's why he's saying the pasuk, Vavarecha mivarechacha mikalalecha aror. It has to be a curse in order for us to see that, in other words, we have to make the curse and not just think it. It has to actually be verbally a curse or a negative word for us to be held responsible. But there's something else that really interested me in this pasuk. I'm going to throw it out to you in Hebrew, and maybe you can tell me what seems to be the discrepancy. It says, "Va'varcha mivarechacha," I will bless those who bless you, and those are the same words coming from the shorish barech, bless. But then when it comes to cursing, he says two different words for cursing. Umikalelcha or. And those that curse you, and I will curse those that curse you. And it says two different words for cursing. It says klala and or, which both mean curse, but they're different words. Anybody who want to enlighten us why you think when it comes to the blessings, it's the same symbolic word of bracha. But when it comes to curse, God changes the words in the Torah, and he doesn't say, umekalecha kalel, if those that curse you, I will curse those that curse you. He uses the word ar, I will curse. So there's a beautiful commentary. I love this. If you think about it, what kind of people are cursing others? Think about this huge idiot from California that cursed the Jews a few days ago on social media. These are very troubled people. Think of all the anti-Semites out there. They're troubled. They're miserable. They're toxic, but they have a lot of miserable instincts. They're unhappy people. Happy people, people that are blessed, people that are comfortable, people that are kind, people that are generous, they're not cursing others. So the Torah tells us something so powerful that when someone curses you, we have to look out at them and say, I will have to try to enlighten you. I will, exactly, Corinne. They need to be enlightened. Comes from the shorish or. And I'm going to step away a little bit from anti-Semites for a second. I'm going to even just go in more communal circumstances, or sometimes family. Just heard such a tragic story of a young teenage girl. Unfortunately, was molested as a child, and had a very, very, very angry demeanors and angry nature, cursing people, fuming, negative, toxic. And she was seeing a therapist, thank God. And he noticed that in her phone, when she had to leave her father's number, she wrote Satan. And the therapist was horrified. How could this actually happen? How drastic do things have to be that a young girl refers to her father as Satan? And she worked with this therapist, and slowly, she actually changed Satan back to father. This girl was missing or. This girl was missing light. And that is where the negativity and the anger and the cursing was manifesting from, because she was lacking or. I speak to families that are struggling with children that are having tantrums, children that are using bad language, children that are misbehaving. And the parents think they have to clamp down on the child. This is inappropriate. This is wrong. But this is a child calling out and saying, I don't need more toxicity. I need or. I'm cursing because I am depleted. I am unhappy. And I am depressed. And I need or. I need you to give me or. So in this little pasuk, there are so many teachings for Jews and non-Jews, but teachings for us with our children. How to watch out for students. If they react with physical violence, we have to stop and look at them and say they need help. Because there's clearly so much trauma in their life that this is how they are reacting. And this is what we mean when we say, bless those who bless you, because those who are positive, raised in a nurturing, wholesome, loving environment, what's their go-to space? To bless others. When you're a kind person, if you're a loving person, all you'll want to do is bless others. Because when you're in a good space, you want to share that. So go out there, share your bracha. Share your bracha. Because when we do, Hashem blesses us. This is not just a command to the other nations, it's also a blessing for us. Hashem says to us, when you bless others, whether it's our spouses, our children, our neighbors, our colleagues, when we bless them and thank them, just this morning, as many of you know, I am director now of Tamim Academy, an amazing new school opening in York region. We're actually starting registration this week. If you know anyone that's looking for a quality school that's Chabad inspired, we know that York region unfortunately closed down too many schools. In fact, one large day school was just grazed to the ground. So we are starting a new school. It's going to be located next year in the JCC in the Lubavitch campus. That was just signed a few days ago. We're very excited. Please share the good news. And so I am now working with many different organizations. And there's one woman on my committee working with me in Tamim. And this morning she sends a beautiful, beautiful email. And the title was, "You are amazing." Now, it's a very interesting thing. We're all very competent, confident women. I don't need someone stroking my ego. But you know what? When I looked at that email, and I had like 30 emails this morning in my office, I opened that one first. You know why? Because it was so positive. It was so positive. When you bless others with words, with kind words, with compassionate words, with empathetic words, you are creating blessing. And now I just want to go off on one more teaching that we learned from this pasuk. So much. They say if you want to know if a country is a positive, kind, compassionate country, look at how they treat the Jews. Has that before? And a country or a culture or a nation that treats the Jews well is a country that will treat their nation well. Not just the Jews, but their citizens. Look at Stalin, Yamach Shemam. He killed over 40, 50 million people. Most of them were not Jews. It started with the Jews. Look at Hitler, Yamach Shemam. That creepy, crawly guy. Look at that despicable human being. It started with the Jews, and he ended up murdering way more than 6 million. He murdered half of his country and the countries nearby. At first, the people say, well, it's just a Jew thing. No, my friends, it's not a Jew thing. We are the canary for the miners. You know, when the miners want to know if there's any toxicity in the mining shafts, they have a canary. And that canary can sense the toxicity. And as soon as they die, the miners know they have to run because they are next. The Jews are the canary for the world. Look at the Muslim extremists. Look at the Islamic terrorists. They start with the Jews in Israel. They bomb pizza shops, buses, homes, hospitals, community centers, and preschools. And the world says, it's a Jew thing. It's an Israel thing. Oh, really? And then they come to 9/11, to Manhattan. It's not a Jew thing. When Muslim extremists tell you they hate you, it's not just the Jews. Those who bless us will be blessed, and those who curse us are curses to the world. Stalin, Hitler. Look at Iran. Iran constantly bothering the Jewish state. Now they're killing their own. Surprise! Why are we surprised? Why didn't the Iranian public pick up on this? Because as long as it was the Jews, it was okay. Now they're beheading their own people. The world must wake up. Take this pasuk to heart. Those who bless the Jews will be blessed. Those who curse the Jews will be cursed, and their countries will be cursed. This is not just something that was written by God 5,783 years ago. It is a book that is current today. And the pasuk continues. I will bless those who bless you, and all the families of the earth will bless their children to be like you. Yes, this book of the Torah is prophetic. It is our prophecy. Let us go out there today, my friends, and use our words that are so powerful. Bless everyone in your way today. Does it seem ridiculous? Who cares? Just get those blessings out there. Let's fill up our world with brachot. Everyone you see, when you hang up at the phone, my father, when he hangs up the phone, no matter how many times a day I speak to him, he hangs up and says, Goldie, brachas for kol tuv sela, ad bli dai, and just goes on and on and on and on. I don't want to hang up. He just doesn't say goodbye or thanks for calling. He just blesses. I want to teach my father's blessings to you. When you hang up on the phone today from a person, from a friend, bless them. Kol hamivarach nisvarach. Whoever blesses others will be blessed. This was a blessing that was given to Avram, and in turn, it's a blessing that is given to all of our children. Okay, so I'm going to take you now to show you which book you should buy for our Tanya class. Follow me into my kitchen. Okay, this book, which is written by Chaim Miller. Can you see it? It's called Practical Tanya, the book for in-betweeners. Of course, it's written by the Alter Rebbe, but it was adapted by Chaim Miller. And there's a fellow by the name of Mr. Green who has books in his home, and he sells them. I can send it to you. I'll put it on the link, his name and his phone number, and you can pick up the book so that in 2 weeks when we start learning, we will have all of us sitting together with our Tanya. I'm excited. I'm looking forward. Have a great day.